Hi, welcome to Main Street Macro. I'm Neela Richardson. Well, it's been called the Great Resignation, the Great Reshuffle, the Great Reassessment. But what is clear is that for workers and the firms trying to recruit them, it doesn't feel all that great. And that's why we wanted to take this time to look deep into our wage data to look at the current state of the world, the current wage rate in which firms are trying to compete, retain, recruit for talent, and workers themselves are trying to figure out the key question: should I stay or should I go? Here are some trends that we think will help with that decision. First, younger workers are actually getting paid more for staying longer on the job. When we looked at the data in December for job holders, those are people who stayed on the job for a year or longer, it was those who are Gen Z that saw the highest wage gains from a year ago. In fact, they saw wage gains at 13%. If you're a young person and you can keep a job for over a year through a pandemic, you deserve that double digit wage increase. The second group that saw the highest gains from staying on the job was millennials. In fact, the older you got, the less you were paid in terms of wage gains for sticking it out. But millennials did pretty well. Next came Gen X. Now, I'm a Gen X. No one ever really talks about Gen X, but we also did pretty well from sticking on the job. But it's really those boomers who saw a dramatically different wage setting practice than other generations. In fact, their wage growth was only 3.5% if they stayed on a job for over a year in December. That's pretty a small increase when you think about the rate of inflation for December was 7%. That meant their real wages actually went down. So that is a key trend to watch going forward. The second place where we're seeing some interesting differences in wage gains is when it comes to job switchers. If you were in a white collar job or you're a firm trying to recruit for a white collar job, expect to pay up. And if you're a worker, expect to earn more because we're seeing double digit increases year over year in December for jobs like in finance, information technology, and professional business services. The talent war is strong here, and the wage gains are highest for those who are able to switch jobs within these industries. Ironically, where we're seeing basically no trade off from switching jobs is the industry that was hit the hardest: leisure and hospitality. It's also the industry where people are quitting the most. But if they're quitting their old job to look for a new job, there's no guarantee they'll actually make more money. In fact, the data shows that either their wages will stay flat from the new job or actually decrease year over year. The final trend that we're watching is what businesses are doing. And businesses are having to incorporate all this information in terms of how are they going to retain their current workforce and add new headcount. And here's what we're seeing: an interesting finding. It's mid-sized firms that are increasing their wages the most. They're actually outpacing both smaller and larger firms to not only retain their workforce, but to hire. So they're paying more for job holders and for job switchers. So there's a lot in flux with wages right now. But even though the job market is constantly changing post pandemic, Main Street is making decisions. So if you are a worker asking, should I stay or should I go? Or if you are a firm deciding whether you should pay up for that worker, this is the time to really look into wages and try to help make that decision. Thanks for watching the Main Street Macro. For more information on the week ahead, please go to adpri.org.